The Notre Dame Alumni Association is proud to announce the 2020 Domer Dozen, a YoungND recognition program celebrating graduates ages 32 and younger for their significant contributions in the areas of faith, service, learning, and work, the core pillars of the Alumni Association's mission. This year's honorees are Sarah Abdel Rahim for breaking barriers for refugee and asylum-seeking chefs, Nate Alexander for saving time and expanding the reach of life-saving organ transplants, Jessica Benzoni for empowering displaced people in the Middle East, Glenis Gary for revolutionizing the treatment of heart disease, Katarina Goitz for being an inspiration to a deeper connection with faith, Maria Hinson Tobin for combating gender inequity in global agriculture, Tyrell Hunt for serving the country in pursuit of a better world, Ashley Kalanaskis for innovating to help pets with cancer, Bill Kennedy for enabling humanity's search for truth through space exploration, Alexandria Christensen Cabrera for advocating for healthcare equity among underserved communities, Kara Strauss for revitalizing Niamia language, culture, and traditions, and Jasmine Tao for providing innovative educational solutions in low-income schools. Congratulations to these outstanding young alumni.
Hello, and welcome to the 2020 Domer Dozen celebration. My name is Amy Porter. I'm a graduate of the class of 2014, and I have the privilege of serving as chair of our YoungND board. For those of you who may not be familiar, YoungND formed in 2018 as the Notre Dame Alumni Association's newest affinity group, dedicated to serving young alumni and helping to keep them connected to Notre Dame and to one another. When our board formed a little more than 3 years ago, one of our first goals and initiatives was to develop a program to recognize the best and the brightest among our young alumni. We also sought to provide our current students with exemplary models of inspiration. Now in its second cycle, we are really excited about how this Domer Dozen program has taken shape, and we're delighted to introduce the broader Notre Dame family to you and your incredible stories. At this time, I'd like to thank our selection committee of ND faculty and staff, including Wendy Angst from the Mendoza College of Business, Jim McAdams from the College of Arts and Letters, Claire Mundy from the President's Office, Father Brogan Ryan, the Rector of Keogh Hall, and Pamela Young from the Office of the Provost, as well as all of my fellow YoungND board members for their time and thoughtful input in helping to select this year's honorees. I know I can speak for all of us in saying that we were wowed by the quality and depth of the work of more than 140 nominations we received. They made us so proud to be associated with Our Ladies University. Learning about the outstanding careers, acts of service, and accomplishments of our peers left us feeling hopeful and optimistic for the future as we continue to look forward to the day when the pandemic is in our rearview mirror. The decisions weren't easy, but there were 12 nominees who stood out from the rest, and we're thrilled to recognize you all tonight as our 2020 Domer Dozen class. While we wish we could be together on campus, I'm nevertheless excited to celebrate your accomplishments and the extraordinary dedication of each of you. To kick things off this evening, it is my absolute privilege to introduce University President Father John Jenkins to share some brief remarks and a special blessing.
Let me congratulate all Domer Dozen awardees and also thank you for your commitment, for your hard work, and for your dedication. We could not be more proud of you all. I often say that one of my greatest joys in this job is traveling around and meeting our graduates from Notre Dame who are doing such remarkable work, and not only showing their intelligence and competence, but also serving the wider world. Reading about you awardees gives me that joy, and I want to thank you for that. It reminds me of why we are here at Notre Dame. You know, we say that Notre Dame is a force for good in the world. We do many things, I think, that are worthwhile and good, but probably none is more powerful than sending out graduates like you into the world to serve humanity, to serve the cause of justice, to care for those who are most vulnerable, care for those who are most in need. So thank you so much for everything you do, and warmest congratulations on this wonderful award, this recognition that you've received. It's an honor for you, but it inspires the rest of us to a similar commitment. So congratulations, and let me just take a moment to conclude with a little blessing of all you wonderful awardees and all involved in this effort. Let us pray. Lord God, bless these our graduates in their work, in their lives, in their commitment. Give them strength in their work, consolation in disappointment, and always hope in meeting the challenges they face. May Notre Dame, Our Lady, watch over them, protect them, and intercede for them. And may you bless them all. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. God bless you all. Thanks for all you do. Go Irish.
Thank you, Father John, for that wonderful blessing and for your continued leadership and support of the Alumni Association. For our next portion of the evening, members of our YoungND board will share more about the incredible work of our Domer Dozen honorees. Then we will hear from each of them and perhaps a few meaningful guests too.
Our first honoree is Sarah Abdel Rahim. Sarah graduated from Notre Dame in 2017 with a degree in political science. Sarah is extremely passionate about improving the integration of refugees and asylees during the resettlement process. After graduation, Sarah was awarded a prestigious Fulbright Fellowship to conduct research on the integration of refugee youth within the formal educational system in Greece. She presented her key findings to the former Deputy High Commissioner of the United Nations Refugee Agency. In an effort to address some of the issues during resettlement, Sarah co-founded Tables Without Borders, an organization that provides a paid internship experience for refugees and asylees interested in pursuing a career in the culinary arts. Interns are paired with chefs in notable restaurants in Washington, D.C. Tables Without Borders facilitates the development of these chefs' culinary talents and professional development within a supportive environment. Tables Without Borders has received national media attention, including coverage in the Washington Post and by NPR. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Sarah led an initiative that employed refugee chefs to prepare 10,000 meals for donation. In addition to all of her work helping refugees, Sarah has been a consultant, senior consultant, and now an associate at Booz Allen Hamilton in Washington, D.C. Please join me in congratulating Sarah on her Domer Dozen Award.
Thank you so much to the Domer Dozen Committee for choosing me for this award. I am truly honored and humbled to be part of the 12 individuals chosen. You see, growing up, my father always taught us that if you don't live your life with the intention of serving others, you're truly not living. And this concept cemented itself during my time at Notre Dame, where I spent 4 years really understanding what it means to serve others and how each of us can be a force of change in our communities. I truly have to thank the Notre Dame alumni that I met along the way as I created Tables Without Borders. Through their financial support, mentorship, and advice, I was able to transform Tables Without Borders from a mere idea that I had into reality. I am now helping refugees and asylum seekers rebuild their lives through the power of food, and using all of the skills and the knowledge that I developed during my time at Notre Dame is what got me to where I am today. So thank you to everyone for nominating me and for being a part of this journey. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for this organization.
Sarah, congratulations on being selected as one of this year's Domer Dozen. I'm so proud of all that you have accomplished just a few short years after graduation. In the research you've done in refugee camps in Greece and founding Tables Without Borders, you have lifted up refugee stories and culture, spread understanding, and created opportunities. You're an innovative thinker who sees challenges as an opportunity to do even more good. Your contributions are inspiring, and I'm confident these accomplishments are just the beginning. Congratulations again.
Hi Sarah, I want to congratulate you on being recognized as one of the Domer Dozen. Over the last few years, I've been able to witness firsthand your dedication to helping those in your community as you created and grew Tables Without Borders. Now it's amazing to think of all the lives you've impacted by providing a training exercise, a salary, or just being a friend to someone as they rebuilt their life. So I hope you can find some time today to reflect on your achievements. I'm proud of you, I know your family is proud of you, and we can't wait to see what comes next. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Nate Alexander. Nate graduated in 2017 with a degree in finance from the Mendoza College of Business and has since made a profound impact in the area of organ transplantation through BLADE. For those of you who are not familiar, BLADE is a tech-empowered global air mobility platform that helps to reduce travel friction through cost-effective air transportation alternatives such as helicopters and jets. After working in investment banking following graduation, Nate pursued his passion for aviation and became head of operations for BLADE. Leveraging the efficient transportation methods and routes that BLADE can offer, Nate founded the BLADE Medical Mobility Organ Procurement Program, which provides end-to-end organ transplant services via air and ground travel. Through this program, Nate and BLADE improve lives and give second chances by reducing the amount of time organs spend outside of the human body. At this point, the program has completed over 800 organ procurement flights, which save lives and reduce costs for hospitals. Please join me in recognizing Nate and the incredible work he is doing to save lives.
I want to start by congratulating my fellow nominees on the amazing work they have done in service to humanity. I'm proud and humbled to stand alongside you as part of the Notre Dame Domer Dozen class of 2020. Upon graduating in 2017 with my degree in finance, I happily began my dream job as an investment banker in New York. A year and a half later, I did the unthinkable. I left my prestigious and lucrative job at JP Morgan to join an aviation startup called BLADE Urban Air Mobility, which specializes in short-distance helicopter travel in the Northeast. I've always loved flying and was eager to combine the passion of flying with what I had learned at Notre Dame. I spent my first years learning the ins and outs of the business and quickly noticed a potential use case, servicing organ transplant flights using BLADE's dedicated aircraft, which often sat idle during off-peak times. I set out with a simple mission: leverage our company's captive infrastructure and 24-hour fleet availability to revolutionize the organ transplant process and provide cost-effective, rapid movement of organs and transplant doctors that ultimately improved patient outcomes. Shortly thereafter, BLADE's medical mobility division was formed. In transplant, every minute counts. By utilizing helicopters to hospital rooftops, we extended our donor reach, eliminated the need for ambulance transport, and removed the associated traffic delays. In just 2 years since inception, the program has performed over 800 successful procurement flights, allowing our hospital partners to access organs throughout the United States, cut travel times down by a third, and greatly improved patient success outcomes, all while saving millions of dollars. We've also had the opportunity to pioneer new treatment options. Most recently, I'm proud to say, our team facilitated the transport for the first ever simultaneous face and arm transplant for NYU Langone. People often talk about what it feels like to make a real impact on the lives of others, but it seldom presents itself in such a profound and tangible way. I'm immensely proud of the work our team is carrying out every day and honored that the program I lead is one small piece of the life-saving work that is an organ transplant.
Nathan, congratulations on your selection to become a part of the Domer Dozen this year. We're so very proud of you and your colleagues at BLADE, along with incredible doctors, nurses, and pilots throughout the United States who are doing truly wonderful and life-saving work. We think it's incredible what you have done to improve the organ transplantation process, making it quicker and more efficient, and we know that every day it is changing the lives of those who need it the most. We're again so very proud of you. Go Irish.
Our next honoree is Jessica Benzoni, a 2015 graduate of Notre Dame Law School, recognized for her work empowering displaced persons in the Middle East. Upon graduating from Notre Dame Law School, Jessica received the Thomas L. Schaefer Fellowship and worked as an attorney for the National Immigrant Justice Center in Chicago, where she represented asylum seekers in asylum interviews and before the Immigration Court. In 2017, Jessica founded Hope and Future International, a nonprofit organization based in northern Iraq that aims to equip displaced people with the necessary tools to thrive, not just survive. The traditional response to existing and emerging displaced populations involves overcrowded displacement camps and the ongoing provision of emergency assistance, which prevents displaced people from rebuilding their lives. In response, Hope and Future International seeks to recognize and uphold the dignity of displaced people by empowering them to achieve long-term self-sustainability. The organization works together with program participants to identify their greatest obstacles to self-sufficiency and provide educational and economic development projects designed to address them holistically. Congratulations on your Domer Dozen Award, Jessica.
I'm incredibly honored to be selected as one of this year's Domer Dozen and to be included among the many inspirational Notre Dame alumni who have received this award in years past. About 10 years ago, I decided to go to law school. I knew I wanted to make a difference in the world, and I wanted a law school that would help me be able to do that. I still remember the day that I received my acceptance letter from Notre Dame and the opening of the package said "Welcome home." From that moment to my first visit to the campus, to the 3 years I studied there, and even now while living thousands of miles away in Iraq, Notre Dame feels like home. I can confidently say that the work I do today would not be possible without the knowledge and experience I gained during my time at Notre Dame, without the faculty and staff who invested in me and believed in my dream of helping displaced people in the Middle East, and without the support I've received even since graduating. I am so proud to be a graduate of Notre Dame. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jessica. You are an inspiration to everyone at Notre Dame Law School, students, faculty, and staff. You're the embodiment of what we mean when we say we're educating a different kind of lawyer, because you're using your incredible skills in the service of the people most in need. We're proud of you.
Next, we honor Dr. Glenis Gary. Dr. Glenis Gary, class of 2011, is a cardiovascular physician scientist at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center. She's researching the regeneration of the injured heart while treating patients suffering from heart disease. Heart failure is the leading cause of mortality, morbidity, and healthcare expenditure worldwide. Currently, the only cure for heart failure is heart transplantation, and as such, novel heart failure therapies are desperately needed. Gary studies a process called cardiac reprogramming, whereby scientists can force scar cells into functional heart cells in an attempt to therapeutically cure heart failure. Working in the laboratory with her mentor, Dr. Eric Olson, Gary discovered a protein that potentially increases the conversion of human scar cells to functional heart cells. Her studies not only provide new understandings of the mechanisms regulating adult cardiac reprogramming, but provide the basis for the development of a novel therapeutic factor for the treatment of heart disease. Beyond her work in the laboratory, Gary is committed to the advancement of women and minorities in STEM, the promotion of medical trainees in science through the Sarnoff Cardiovascular Research Foundation, and support of local Catholic education through her work as outreach director for the Notre Dame Club of Dallas. Congratulations, Glenis. Well deserved.
I feel incredibly honored to be receiving this award amongst so many tremendously accomplished awardees, former classmates, and Notre Dame alumni who are using their vocations to deeply impact the world we live in. I would like to thank the selection committee, Dolly Duffy, and the Notre Dame Alumni Association, and the YoungND board for this great opportunity and for all that they do for the alumni of our university. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Fritz Judah, who nominated me for this award, and who for decades has been an incredible advocate for Our Lady's University and for Catholic education. It was Fritz Judah who first encouraged my application to Notre Dame in 2006, and it was Fritz Judah who still to this day encourages my research and clinical pursuits. I would like to thank the Notre Dame Club of Dallas for helping me to continue my involvement in Notre Dame's mission and connection to the community away from the Dome. And lastly, I would like to thank my mentor, Eric Olson, my parents, my family members, and especially my grandfather, Mike Gary, a member of the class of 1945, for showing me the incredible richness of living a life dedicated to God, country, and Notre Dame. Thank you, and go Irish.
Congratulations, Glenis. It's been a while since I wrote you a sponsorship letter, I guess, as a trustee at Notre Dame when you were a senior seeking admission to the university. You were a senior here at Ursuline Academy. It was an easy letter to write because of your performance at Ursuline, and You followed that up with a great undergraduate program at Notre Dame. Many people here may or may not know that Glenis was our first female drum major. I watched her with pride at Notre Dame Stadium, and this is a wonderful, wonderful award for Glenis. Very deserving. Great work, Glenis. Good luck. Bye-bye.
Our next honoree is Katarina Goitz, a graduate of the class of 2016 and also a graduate of the ECHO program, earning a Master's of Theology in 2018. After receiving her master's degree, Katarina worked as a youth minister for 6 churches in Galveston, Texas for 10 months. While leaving Notre Dame after an ECHO program reunion in June of 2019, she was tragically killed by a hit-and-run driver. Her virtues of speaking gently, living humbly, giving freely, and greeting the world with joy began long before attending Notre Dame and remained with her until her last breath. Once described as benevolence personified, her work culminated in the huge impact she had on the youth of Galveston. Father Jude Azuma of Galveston said, "She infused vigor in the program through her gentleness, piety, kindness, hard work, dedication, and love of God." One of her 16-year-old confirmation candidates wrote, "Everyone who knew her saw God in her, and in turn, found themselves closer to Him. Her grace was like a burning flame. She passed it along to everyone she met, and her kindness and gentleness inspired those she touched to spread it further. She turned a failing program into one with a wait list." Although humble, her acts of compassion, such as giving the shoes on her feet to a homeless woman, moved many throughout her life. Her last act of kindness was to put a letter of encouragement under the door of every ECHO student while they were sleeping on the morning of her accident. Katarina's work continues in the form of a blog, Katarina Lives On, which includes daily Bible readings, and through a nonprofit foundation, the Katarina Goitz Foundation for Youth and Young Adult Ministry, to support the work and education of youth ministers. Please join me in recognizing Katarina, honoring her memory, and continuing to build upon her legacy as she inspires each of us to deepen our connection with the faith.
As the parents of Katarina Goitz and her brother Dylan, we are proud to accept this award in her honor. Katarina loved God above all things, but Notre Dame was a close second. She was baptized in 1994 in a log chapel, where there is now a plaque to commemorate her life. She fell in love with Notre Dame after a summer program for high school students, ND Vision, which she joyfully exclaimed, "I met 300 kids just like me." She went on to attend Notre Dame, graduating in 2016, and intended to pursue a field in international relations and peace studies in order to make an impact on a large scale, majoring in Chinese and economics. But through prayer and discernment, she found herself drawn to helping others with their faith journey on an individual basis, always leading by her gentle, joyful, and humble example. She received her master's in theology in 2018 through the ND ECHO program, during which she interned at a Hispanic parish in Houston. She was fluent in 3 languages. After graduation, her faith, growth, education, and fluency in Spanish brought her to minister to youth in a Hispanic community of Galveston, Texas. Her gentle ways, smile, kindness, and message of Jesus' love that she exemplified most clearly by how she lived transformed the island's community's youth and their families as she was able to engender in them an excitement about their faith. She was sadly killed by a hit-and-run driver as she left campus on June 24th, 2019, after a weekend Notre Dame ECHO reunion. She's buried on the grounds of Notre Dame at Our Lady of Sorrows Mausoleum. Katarina's spirit of bringing God's message to others lives on through the lives of those she touched while on this earth. After her death, one of Katarina's confirmation candidate teenage students wrote us, asking permission to use Katarina's name for her confirmation name. She later wrote, "I felt Katarina's hand on my shoulder as I received the Spirit." In fact, since her passing, we have been provided beautiful stories of how she has guided some in their faith, others who prayed to her for healing, and even others who are moved spiritually by her writings and reflections. the Notre Dame ECHO program established an annual award in her honor for the graduate that exemplifies the virtues that Katarina embodied. Her work also continues through a foundation that bears her name in support of youth and young adult ministry to bring Christ to youth. One final thing, Katarina's humility would never have allowed us to say any of this, but only after her death did we understand the impact she had and still has on so many. So we believe that her story of faith must be told to continue to inspire others to seek and find God. Once again, thank you. God bless you, and God bless Notre Dame.
Amen. Our next honoree is Maria Hinson Tobin. After graduating with a bachelor's degree in biological sciences from the University of Tennessee, Maria Hinson Tobin, a 2014 grad, chose to focus her education on population health and inequity, earning a master's in global health from Notre Dame. As part of this degree, she interned in Uganda with the Carter Center's River Blindness Elimination Program, assisting with the development and testing of a model used to evaluate the program's effectiveness and improve ongoing programming. In 2015, Tobin joined CARE, an international humanitarian organization committed to saving lives, defeating poverty, and advancing social justice. At CARE, she applied her analytic and program management skills within the international development sector, managing and providing technical expertise for food security, nutrition, and health programs. She supported marginalized, disenfranchised, and impoverished agricultural communities, including but not limited to Côte d'Ivoire, Guatemala, and Indonesia. At the center of this work, Tobin oversaw the implementation quality of an initiative committed to transform the lives of women farmers, empowering them with the resources, skills, and knowledge to lift themselves and their families out of poverty. Since 2019, Tobin has also spearheaded fundraising efforts, raising more than $12 million for humanitarian aid to address crises around the world. In 2020, she was honored for her leadership in the nonprofit sector with the Young Nonprofit Professionals Network of Atlanta's 30 Under 30 Award. Tobin is currently a director of development at CARE, while also pursuing her doctorate in public health at the University of Georgia. Please join me in recognizing Maria.
I'm so honored to be standing here tonight alongside such remarkable Notre Dame alumni to receive this Domer Dozen Award. I'm humbled to be recognized for the work that has been one of the greatest joys of my life, and feel a sense of pride to be a part of a university family that places such prestige on working with communities who have been marginalized and impoverished. More than 30 years ago, my then 19-year-old mother migrated to the US in pursuit of her dreams. And like many other single moms and immigrants around the globe, she pursued those dreams with a strength that was formidable and a passion that was contagious. Tonight, I thank my mom for inspiring me to help others and for lighting a fire in me for social justice. As my accomplishments are graciously celebrated tonight, I celebrate her courage and resilience and feel immense gratitude for how she has shaped my life. This would not have been possible without being surrounded by love and support, and for that, I also want to thank my husband, who has been a rock for me since the beginning of my career, and also for my friends and family who have been there for me since the beginning. To say that you all have been a blessing is an understatement, and for that, this celebration is for you too. And oh, Notre Dame, this award is even more humbling because it is being bestowed by an institution and by faculty for whom I have the deepest respect. My time spent at Notre Dame has altered the course of my life and made me a better person. And for that, I thank you and am deeply honored to accept this award.
Hello, Maria, and congratulations on being a Domer Dozen honoree It's awesome to see you win this award because you've worked so hard here at CARE to make the world a better place for the most vulnerable. And you've done it while you've been pursuing your doctorate in public health. And it's just amazing that you can do all of this at once and that you do it all with a smile and such grace. You're beautiful on the inside and out, and we're so proud of you. Congratulations.
Hello, I'm Dolly Duffy, a member of the class of 1984 and the executive director of your Notre Dame Alumni Association. Thank you so much for joining us to celebrate our 2020 Domer Dozen. In my role as executive director, I have the privilege of meeting alumni from all walks of life. I am constantly struck by their achievements and their commitment to their work and the various causes in which they are involved. As Amy mentioned earlier, we are truly amazed by the depth of your stories and the diversity of the areas in which you are changing the world and championing causes that are worthy and important, from healthcare, education, and space exploration, to faith, the empowerment of the underserved populations, and the celebration of your cultures and communities. Among other areas, you seem to be doing it all. At the Alumni Association, we strive to help our graduates succeed in faith, service, learning, and work. Tenets that are so integral to who we are as a university. And we could not be prouder about the ways each of you have embodied those values and demonstrated them in your own lives. When we underwent a re-envisioning process a few years ago, one of our findings was that our students and young alumni had a misconception of how the university views success for our graduates. There was a feeling that it required enormous wealth and fame. Well, as the mother of 5, I know how easy it can be for young adults to associate success with starting salary, or in today's day and age, one's number of social media followers. But through the Domer Dozen, we have been able to celebrate and recognize graduates in numerous walks of life, not for fame and fortune, but for the quality of their character and how they have used their time and talents to make positive and lasting impacts. Like the inaugural Domer Dozen class before you, it is our hope that this celebration will not be a one-time engagement with Notre Dame and the Alumni Association. When this pandemic is over and we're able to once again gather as a Notre Dame family, I hope you'll stay in touch with our team and come see us the next time you're back on campus. And I hope Notre Dame will always play an important role in your life. As many of you have demonstrated in your remarks and in reading through so many wonderful nominations submitted by your families, friends, colleagues, and mentors, this university, and more importantly, the people with whom we've had the privilege to share it, has shaped each of us into who we are today. No matter where your life takes you, and I'm certain that it will keep you very, very busy, please know that the Alumni Association is always here to keep you connected, however you seek to engage with Notre Dame. Congratulations and thank you. I look forward to continuing to follow your journeys and the many ways you are improving the world and the lives of those around you.
Next, we honor Tyrell Hunt, a 2019 MBA graduate. Dedicated to a career in public service, Terrell currently serves as Vice Consul at the Consulate General of the United States in Shanghai, China. Through this role, Terrell works to strengthen U.S. foreign relations, advance global security, and promote values that advocate for peace and universal human rights. Prior to joining the Notre Dame family, Terrell attended Northeastern University, graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration in 2013. Terrell then worked for companies including Booz Allen Hamilton as a consultant in their Defense and Intelligence Group, and Nike as a senior manager in their Global Community Impact Division. In his current role within the Department of State, Terrell strives to not only be a good leader, but also to promote inclusion, diversity, and equality in all that he does. This is exemplified by his selection for the Glenn Monroe Award, an award given annually to one member in the new class of Foreign Service officers who best exemplifies the values and principles of those that have dedicated their lives to protecting Americans and advancing the American diplomatic agenda. Please join me in recognizing Terrell.
Albeit virtually, it is so good to be here with you all, my Notre Dame family, once again. With my brief remarks, I simply want to offer my gratitude. I want to offer my gratitude to my nominators, a group of people who I love and who enrich me in ways beyond measure. To Shay, Frank, Sean, and Mom, thank you. I want to offer my gratitude for the opportunity that I have to be an interrupter of injustice and peacemaker intent on realizing God's promise for a better world. Every day I get to wake up and advance and fight for the values that make our human experience free and beautiful. And that, to me, is a life worth living. Thank you. I also want to offer gratitude to Notre Dame, my beloved alma mater. In the midst of making lifelong memories in the shortest 2 years of my entire life, I found, in the words of Father Hesburgh, a place that made me a better person. Better, probably, than I would otherwise have been. Thank you. Because of you all, I'm well equipped to chase a better world. I believe it's out there, and I believe in the good things that are coming. And along the journey, I promise not to let you all down. Thank you.
My son, Terrell, I nominated you because I know just how important it is for you to make the world a better place. I have seen the motivation and ambition from the very beginning. You have worked extremely hard on your beautiful journey, and I am so happy that your dreams are coming true. This is a well-deserved recognition. I am so very proud of you. Words cannot explain. You, my son Tyrell Hunt, has definitely made the world a better place. Thank you.
Hey Terrell, congratulations on becoming a member of the 2020 Domer Dozen. It's a huge honor. Serving as a U.S. diplomat, you work with other countries to build a better future. That celebrates the Notre Dame mission of being a force for good in the world. Very happy for you, buddy.
Congratulations, Terrell, on this awesome recognition. I'm really proud of you and everything you've already accomplished. You're a passionate servant leader who is committed to making the world a better place, and the recognition is absolutely well-deserved. Thank you for your dedication to serving the country and fellow citizens as a U.S. diplomat.
Terrell Dwayne Hunt. I would say that I'm amazed at yet another one of your grand accomplishments, but I'm not. As your little cousin, I've watched you accomplish great things my entire life. I'm thrilled to hear that Notre Dame is recognizing you for the same greatness that you've shown me and our family for so many years. So continue to be an inspiration to not only me, but to the world. You're doing amazing things. Continue to do amazing things.
Our next honoree is Ashley Kelenowskis, the founder and CEO of Torogen Pharmaceuticals, a startup that resulted from her graduate thesis project at Notre Dame. Ashley graduated from the University of Connecticut in 2012 with an undergraduate degree in pathobiology and chose to continue her education in South Bend, earning a master's in engineering, science, and technology entrepreneurship, also known as the STEAM program. Torogen and its first product, Vetavax, are based upon the research of former Notre Dame professor Dr. Mark Suckow. Through her work with Torogen, located at the Technology Incubation Program at the University of Connecticut, Ashley focuses on providing veterinary cancer care solutions for companion animals. Torogen's first product, Vetavax, is an autologous cancer immunotherapy that uses the patient's own tumor cells to create a personalized treatment to fight the cancer. With over 50% of companion animals over the age of 10 dying from cancer, and with other treatment modalities being both expensive and potentially having negative side effects, Vetavax is an innovative new treatment that is quickly gaining traction with veterinarians across the country. Please join me in congratulating Ashley.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for awarding me the Notre Dame Domer Dozen for 2021. I'm so happy to be a recipient of this award and for all of the work that we have put into building Torogen. Torogen is a result of my graduate work done at Notre Dame, focused on the pursuit of really being able to define a business plan for my graduate thesis work in the STEAM program. My graduate thesis was on the work of Dr. Mark Succo, creating personalized cancer vaccines. However, we switched the business model in order to be able to help pets diagnosed with cancer. So we help dogs, cats, horses diagnosed with cancer, and we've truly become a leader in the veterinary immunotherapy field, revolutionizing how we can treat our pets once diagnosed. And with over 50% of all dogs over the age of 10 dying from cancer, this is such a big problem, and we know that we're ready to help solve it. So from the bottom of my heart, I really love being able to accept this award and appreciate all of the support from the Notre Dame community as we continue to build this entrepreneurial venture. Thank you, and stay tuned to continue watching Torogen accomplish so much more.
My name is Mark Succo, and I'd like to congratulate Ashley Kalanaskis on being chosen as a member of the 2021 Domer Dozen class. Ashley helped take a technology that we developed in my laboratory at the University of Notre Dame and created a company, Torogen Pharmaceuticals, to provide hope to pet owners whose animals, dogs and cats, have cancer. This is a great achievement, most deserving of this recognition, and I congratulate you, Ashley. Job well done.
Hey, Ashley. Congratulations today on receiving this award. You are such a go-getter and amazing and kind person. I'm so happy for you. Enjoy this day, and I know the best is yet to come.
Next up, I have the honor and privilege of introducing a true pioneer of the final frontier, William J. Kennedy. Bill Kennedy is a lead engineer for Booz Allen Hamilton and an employee of the NASA Lyndon B. Johnson Space Center. As part of the NASA Artemis program, he manages the configuration analysis modeling and mass properties team in the Systems Engineering and Integration Office for the Lunar Gateway Space Station program. The Lunar Gateway will begin assembly in orbit around the moon in 2023 and serve as a staging point for the next crewed missions to land the first woman and next man on the moon and support a sustained human presence on the lunar surface. Previously, he served as a systems engineer for 11 expeditions to the International Space Station. He has been the recipient of the NASA Avionics Systems Division Award for his work on cislunar antenna line-of-sight communication optimization, has published work through the International Astronautical Federation, and is an associate member of the Royal Aeronautical Society. He has mentored high school students in the Houston area through independent study mentorship programs and by serving as a judge at Houston Science Fairs. Bill holds a Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering from the University of Notre Dame and a Master's of Science in Aeronautics and Astronautics from Stanford University. Bill, congratulations on your Domer Dozen honor.
It is an incredible honor to be recognized as a part of this year's Domer Dozen group. I want to especially thank the Notre Dame Alumni Association, my parents, and Katie, Patrick, and Sean for always supporting me. Linda, a dear friend from Notre Dame, for nominating me, and all my friends and colleagues here in Houston. I loved my time at Notre Dame, and the College of Engineering instilled in me that one's education does not belong to oneself, it's meant to be given. I've come to know quite a few Notre Dame alumni here at NASA, and we are all brought to the Johnson Space Center for the same reason, I believe, to be a part of something far bigger than ourselves and to make us proud to be human. I think the most powerful example of the Notre Dame family at work I've seen since graduating was through Katarina Goitz, another one of the Domer Dozen recipients. She was a classmate at Notre Dame and a dear friend here in Houston. And it broke my heart to hear the accident she was in June of 2019. But later that month, it was amazing to see just how many lives she had touched when her friends from near and far and those from the Notre Dame family came together to celebrate her life. Thank you again for this recognition, and to Mr. and Mrs. Goetz and Dylan, Congratulations to Katarina. There is nobody more deserving.
Hi, Billy. Congratulations on being honored as a Domer Dozen. I nominated you because you inspire me to be an engineer that not only uses her skills to advance technology, but also to serve humanity. You are also an incredibly kind friend and supportive mentor. Once again, congratulations.
Our next honoree is Alexandria Christensen Cabrera. Class of 2016, Alexandria is a third-year medical student and health policy PhD student at the University of Minnesota. Her work is focused on reducing disparities with a specific focus on the impact of racism on maternal and infant birth outcomes. She has dedicated her studies to understand how the intersections of class, immigration, disability, race, and ethnicity impact health outcomes. Her dissertation research follows her previous work on maternal and child health, including research on breastfeeding practices, medical education, and improving the safety and quality of perinatal care. After becoming an executive board member of White Coats for Black Lives, Christensen Cabrera co-organized and spoke at the Twin Cities Healthcare for Black Lives protest, which was attended by over 1,000 healthcare workers. As part of the Medical Education Reform Student Coalition, she is helping to increase community involvement in the medical school, remove race-based medicine, and advocate for an anti-racist curriculum. She also serves on the Diversity and Inclusion Committee and mentors several pre-medical students to increase the number of physicians and physician scientists from underrepresented backgrounds. Through the Minnesota Medical Association, she is a suicide prevention training instructor and is engaged in health policy advocacy as a Twin Cities Medical Association Public Health Advocacy Fellow. Congratulations, Alexandria.
First, I'd like to thank those who have continuously supported me. My parents, my grandparents, my sister, and my partner. I'd also like to thank Dr. Vanya Smith-Oka, my undergraduate research advisor, and the Notre Dame Kellogg Institute for International Studies. Notre Dame truly is a special place. I'm so grateful for the resources and opportunities provided to me and many wonderful other members of the Notre Dame family. Thank you so much to YoungND and the Notre Dame Alumni Association for this honor.
Hi, Alex. Congratulations on being named in this year's Notre Dame Domer Dozen. It's been amazing being able to witness your dedication to improve lives of others. I'm so proud of what you've been able to accomplish and excited to see what you do going forward. But today is about enjoying the praise and recognition that you have earned. So without further ado, go Alex, you go, you go.
Our next honoree is Kara Strauss. Kara Strauss is the Director of Miami Tribe Relations at Miami University. She is responsible for strengthening the relationship between the Miami Tribe of Oklahoma and Miami University, as well as providing advising and support for Miami students. Strauss's involvement in the Native American Student Association at Notre Dame impacted how she thought about support for Native American students on college campuses, eventually leading her to pursue her master's degree in student affairs and higher education at Miami University, where her graduate studies focused on how to apply student development theory to make Miami students successful in their college endeavors. Kara is the first full-time Miami woman on the Miami Center staff and has immersed herself in learning Miami language, dance, and other traditional skills, motivating Miami students to explore their culture and serving as an educator about the Miami tribe on campus. Congratulations, Kara.
Ayacheke, Tepewe Mawe Piayongwe, Makunza Kwawins Waane, Nila Miamikuya. Greetings, everyone. It's so nice to be here with you all tonight. I would like to say, Missionewe, a big thank you for honoring me as a Domer Dozen recipient. Like everyone else, my time at Notre Dame was meaningful and helped me to form into the person I am today, and so I appreciate this recognition. I introduced myself to you tonight in the Miami language, something that I wasn't able to do just a few years ago, and something that was not possible for anyone just a generation ago. Working alongside my tribal nation on revitalization to reclaim our language and culture isn't just a job. It's helped me to learn more about who I am and the community that I belong to. I wouldn't be here today without the support of so many people, including my parents and grandparents, especially my grandma Sue, who helped me to learn about my Miamia identity from a young age. A special thank you to my husband, Christoph, for your support and love. And finally, to my Miamia community. I have learned so much from you all, and I know that the process of revitalization is a lifelong process, and I look forward to continuing this work alongside you all. Missionaire.
Kara, I am so pleased that you're receiving this recognition. I know how proud you are of your Notre Dame education, and this recognition is allowing the broader Notre Dame community to learn about and appreciate the ways that you are making a difference to your own tribal community, the Miami Tribe of Oklahoma, and to the work of the Miamia Center at Miami University. As Director of Miami Tribe Relations, you spearhead efforts that engage all kinds of people on campus and beyond to learn more about the Miami Tribe, ways that really deepen the already strong 49-year relationship that Miami has with the Miami Tribe. The Miamia Center is really fortunate to have you as one of their leadership team, offering your very different lens as a Miamia woman to enhance the educational and the cultural efforts that benefit the Miami Tribe of Oklahoma and eventually the Miamia people. I couldn't be more proud of you.
Last but not least, we honor Jasmine Simmons Tao, class of 2011. After graduating from Notre Dame, summa cum laude with a double major in Spanish and psychology, Jasmine joined Teach for America as a core member and moved to California, where she has spent the majority of her career serving low-income, predominantly Black and Hispanic populations in East Oakland. After 4 years as a TFA educator, she joined TFA staff as an elementary specialist and for almost 2 years worked directly with teachers to improve outcomes for ESL students and their families across the San Francisco Bay Area. After stints in the Reality Revolve program took her to classrooms in Israel, Tao returned to California, where she is now an assistant principal of instruction and the only bilingual administrator at Monarch Aspire Public School in East Oakland. She is frequently consulted by educators throughout California and sometimes nationally for her insight and knowledge of culturally relevant instruction, educating English learners and newcomers, interrupting the school-to-prison pipeline, dismantling systemic oppression in schools, and providing high-quality education during the pandemic. Tao was one of the first educators in the Aspire public school system to recognize the need for a sustainable distance learning model during the pandemic and developed plans for educator and site leader training and collaboration. Congratulations, Jasmine.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Tao, and I am honored and excited to accept this award. I would like to thank the selection committee, as well as my mom and my husband Steve, who nominated me. And I'd like to share a quote that inspires me and keeps me in the work of education by the amazingly talented and wise Toni Morrison. And the quote says, "I tell my students, when you get these jobs that you have been so brilliantly trained for, just remember that your real job is that if you are free, you need to free somebody else. If you have some power, then your job is to empower somebody else. This is not just a grab bag candy game." And so those are the words I strive to live up to alongside my community, the amazing Aspire Monarch Academy in Oakland, California, every day. And I hope to continue to make you all proud. Thank you.
Jasmine, there are not enough words in any language to describe how blessed I am to have you in my life. In our time together, I've seen you become an inspiration for so many people, including our beautifully bluish daughters. You faced extraordinary challenges that few will ever know or understand, yet you've met them with unmatched integrity and persevered with incomparable grace. I am so proud of the work you've accomplished, the students, children, and families you've helped, the communities you've nurtured with distinction, and the invaluable contributions you've made to the education profession. You are the epitome of what public service aspires to, and, more importantly, what it truly means to be a leader. I love you with all that I am, and congratulations on this much-deserved award. Mazel tov.
Wow, what an amazing group of young alumni. Thank you to everyone for joining us tonight.
Thank you again to our selection committee and our YoungND board for helping to select tonight's distinguished honorees, and thank you especially to our nominators for bringing these moving and inspiring stories to our attention. Our honorees continue to be profound forces for good in our world, and we are excited to share their stories and accomplishments to inspire our students, alumni, and all members of the Notre Dame family. As we conclude so many things at Notre Dame, we'll leave you tonight with the alma mater, Notre Dame, our mother. For our honorees, please join us in 5 minutes for a special post-show Zoom celebration. Thank you so much.